After a full weekend of playoffs, one coach comes out and calls his team emotionally weak. I'm going to have the story of who that is. Joe and I and Chris are going to get into that. Also, a current major leaguer's rookie card sold this weekend for more than any other piece of memorabilia ever in the history of baseball cards. I'm going to tell you who it is and how much it sold for. What if I said to you that longtime Spurs head coach Greg Popovich could be on the move to another team in the NBA after 30 years in San Antonio? We're going to get into that. Also, I found a college football team that scheduled one game this season. The only thing crazier than that is the reason why they did it. I'm going to have the school and the reason for you. And guess what? You have found the show that helps you be smarter than your friends when it comes to sports. Let's get it started.
You're tuned in to the hottest sports analysis of the week with your hosts Ron Throwback and Chris Roberts. And now, here's the first round.
You found us here on YouTube. You're in the first round where we talk about everything going on in the world of sports. We're glad that you're joining us. Almost coming up on 600 subscribers. We picked up 70 new friends to our first round family in the last week. We want to thank all of our new subscribers. Hit that notification button because we put out shows every Monday and Thursday night, posting them. You will be up to date, and we want to say welcome and thank you. Also, everybody out in San Diego, in Maine, and in Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska, we want to say all to our new fans out in those three areas. Thank you so much for your support. We are with you, and we appreciate your time. You could be doing a lot of things for your entertainment value. We're glad you're joining us. Joining me, as he does every single week on my left, is my co-host, Chris Roberts. Chris?
Man, my grandmother wore me out today. I'm tired, man.
Your grandma? Why? Is she having you run around doing the honeydew list?
Yes.
What's the worst thing she had you doing?
Oh, man. I went to like 4 or 5 stores today. I went to the grocery store.
Let me guess. You have to get exactly the right thing?
Yes. Kind of, sort of, man. I mean, I had 3 different transactions in that store. So I had to get something from my mom because she wants to make a banana pudding for my grandmother. My uncle decided he wanted to buy every fruit in the grocery store. And then my grandmother, oh, by the way, get me some salad and I need you to get me a bunch of cranberry juice. I was worn out. And then I had to go to another store to get laundry detergent, and I also had to get a bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm tired now.
Family,
yes.
Family will do it to you every single time. So before we start talking about sports, that reminds me of something. So, in March, I was planning on going to Italy with my mom.
Right.
We hadn't completely formalized plans, thank God, because Corona hit.
Right.
And so my mom ended up going to Italy about 8 months ago by herself. Just no me, no dad, nobody, just went by herself, which is great. She's independent.
Okay.
She just goes, she has fun. So I said, we need to reschedule our trip. And she goes, this is my mom she's 75 very soon.
Right.
My mom is 23 years old or 39. I can't remember what number she told me to say, but I'm talking to her on Saturday. I said, hey, we got to start getting the plans ready for going to Italy. And she goes, oh, yeah, I need to go to Italy. I need to get myself some new drip.
What?
My mom says
really?
She needs to get herself some new drip from Italy, dude. She's 75.
Wow.
I need to get some new drip. I can't even.
All right, Ryan. So who's the young fella she's been hanging around? Like, what's going on?
I need to get some new drip. I mean, I can't even. You got a picture like this really conservative.
I know. I've seen pictures of mom, man. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so was it your nephew? She's been hanging around.
I don't know. You know what? It's probably my cousins or my nieces.
Okay.
It's her sister's daughters.
Right.
And when I'm out there, we party, we play cards, we have a couple drinks.
Right.
So they're big Don Julio fans.
Okay.
We're getting way off of sports here, but just the fact that my mom told me she can't wait to go to Italy with me to get herself some new drip and bling.
Oh wow. So, okay. Okay. So what's mom's favorite? We talking about Versace? Like what are we talking about?
With my mom, she's like me. She's a live wire. You never know. Like 2 years ago, she called me. She was upstate New York. She goes, oh, yeah, I just bought a boat in upstate New York. I said, what are you buying a boat? $10,000? I go, that's my inheritance you're spending for a boat that you're going to use twice a year? She lives in San Diego.
Hey, Ron, she said, I can't take it with me.
I know, but I'm right here. Reparations. I need reparations.
I'm sorry, son.
Hey, new drip. I can't even get it. I want to talk about what's going on in the world of sports and the biggest stories, so let's get it started. In the NBA, Boston and Toronto close out their first round series with sweeps. I thought they both looked really good, but now in the second round, they face each other. Chris, I, and Joe will be getting into that. How about Luka Doncic dropping 43 points with no Kristaps Porzingis? Grabs 17 boards, 13 assists, and beats the LA Clippers, who I have going farther than the Lakers on our new big bet board over here. I'm starting to get a little concerned with the Clippers. It was a last-second three-pointer that Luka Doncic hit and absolutely cut the heart out of the starting five for the Clippers. We're going to get way more into that. Miami looks to close out Indianapolis. They're up 3-0. How about OKC today, tying it up against Houston? They're 2-2 in their series. Also, the Lakers, big win a couple days ago. Take a 2-1 series lead against Portland. A 116-108 win on Saturday. And I'm not sure what I'm getting with the Lakers. I think they're going to get out of this series, but it could still go 6 or 7 games. Joe, Chris, and I will be getting into that. Bucks go up 3-1 with a win over the Magic today, 121-106. Game 4 Wednesday. I look for Milwaukee to close that series out. Other things going on in the NBA. Jazz and Nuggets. Tuesday night, Jazz up 3-1. They could close out that series. That's a bit of a shocker. Excuse me. NFL news. 7-time Pro Bowler Earl Thomas was released today by the Baltimore Ravens after punching his teammate Chuck Clark on practice on Friday night. This guy has been an absolute carnival of insanity since he's joined the league, from being late to meetings, calling out other team players, flipping off former coach Pete Carroll on national TV, and now he punches his own teammate. There's other teams that are going to go grab him. These are the bottom barrel teams and maybe Dallas, but you got to ask yourself if it's worth it to pick this future Hall of Famer up. I'm not so sure at this point. How about a lot of the free agents that are still out on the street right now with their thumb trying to get a job? Jadeveon Clowney, Clay Matthews, Antonio Brown, Logan Ryan, Eric Reed, just to mention a few. We're going to get into where those guys could land in our NFL segment. BioReference Labs, used by the NFL for their current COVID testing, comes out today and announces why 77 positive tests came up for COVID over the weekend, shutting down many practice camps. They were all false positives, though. They were all actually negatives. Bio exec John Cohen comes out on Monday and says it was due to internal, what was the issue with them? There was like internal contamination issues. Something weird, but when you're getting paid that much money by the NFL, that's inexcusable. You're actually affecting a bunch of the teams around the NFL, their players, their time. That stuff can't be happening. Major League Baseball, speaking of COVID, the New York Mets resume play tomorrow against the Miami Marlins after missing their last 4 games due to 2 of their staff members coming down positive for COVID-19. That might be a good thing. The Mets are heading in the wrong direction right now. They might want to check themselves in and see if they can get their batting average up and figure out their pitching rotation. After losing Luis Sorvino, James Paxton, Tommy Kinley, and Zach Britton off their pitching staff, New York Yankees today make a phone call to Cleveland to ask and inquire about much-needed pitching trades that could happen before the trade deadline on August 31st. Chris and our newest Yankee fan, Joe, and I can get into that. Yankees GM Brian Cashman is one of the best at buying talent out there and championships. I'm sure the guys will have something to say about that. How about the Chi White Sox coming out of Major League news? This team is 17-12. I never would have seen that coming. Plus, they've won 7 out of their last 10. They're on a hot streak, and one of the major reasons is they're plus 30 in their run differential, one of the best batting teams right now in MLB. And speaking of the other side of the spectrum, Major League Baseball, how about the Texas Rangers, losers of 8 in a row? 8 in a row. They start a 4-game series against the first place Oakland Athletics. Could be 0 for 12 very soon. Lastly, in college football news, the AP poll comes out today. It almost mirrors the coaches poll. Clemson at number 1, Ohio State, Bama. Georgia rounds out the top 4. Instead of LSU at 5, they've got Oklahoma. And lastly, North Dakota State schedules one game this year. One date, one game at home. We're going to get into why that happened and the reason behind it. And having said all that, Chris, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports, but the main thing we're going to talk about tonight is going to be our jersey selections,
right?
Because we're going to do a big jersey show. We're going to count down the top. Each of us have a top 5 best jerseys in sports. We're going to be counting them down and letting you guys know who we think our top 5 is. I don't go on the internet and look at, Bleacher Report, Yahoo Sports, and all these places. This is just straight what I think. Hopefully it's not too much of a homer list. I can't stand that stuff. I'll let you know right now, the Red Sox and the Patriots are not in my list.
Well, one of your guys are in mine. I mean, I just love that jersey, but hey, we're going to say that for later.
One of the Boston teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Let's start with the NBA. I've got to start. If you were going to start in the NBA, Joe, with one story, what would it be? Just give me one story.
Portland and Lakers.
Okay. Chris?
I'm going with the Clippers of Dallas.
I'm deferring to the man who's been sitting here longer. Clippers and Dallas.
Yes.
That shot, Doncic, no time left on the clock, drains a 3. They're down by 2. They win by 1.
Yes.
And there's no Kristaps Porzingis.
Yes.
How deflating. I don't even know where to start. Like, how amazing was a 43-point performance, including, 17 rebounds, 13 assists with no Kristaps Porzingis there. They take down my mighty Los Angeles Clippers, who are starting to look like they're in danger.
Hey, man.
Are they in danger? Should I be worried here?
I would. I mean, the Clippers are starting to look like the Clippers of old right now. I mean, when you think about that game what Luka Doncic put up, that almost goes back and reminds you of the game when Magic played center for the Lakers.
What, in 83?
82, yeah. I mean, those numbers he put up, those were amazing for this guy to not have his second best player on the team.
I was starting to have a conversation. You and I have had a bunch of conversations about Doncic and Tatum.
Yeah.
It's Doncic, then Tatum right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be that way. The big story, I think, with this whole thing, and we could talk about Luka Doncic and how great he is, but on the other side of the coin is what is going on with Paul George. 3 for 25 in the past 3 games from 3-point distance. I mean, I can't even believe I'm reading that stat. 3 for 25. He's 10 for 47 in the last 3 games from the field, which is less than 30% from the field. I mean, you get 2 layups in a game, you're going to be over 30%. He's not. I can't even believe I'm seeing what I thought was like a future Hall of Famer, one of the top 15 players in the NBA, tank so bad. He's got to be one of the major reasons why Dallas tied up this series against the Clippers, Joe.
Yeah, the last 2 games, he's been horrible. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy how he's been playing. He went he scored 9 points in that game. I mean, he wasn't even a factor at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He hasn't been a factor. No. He's a brick house. Nasty. He's nasty, all right. I think he's like an anchor on that team. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about anchor? Where do we get to the Portland series? I'll tell you about anchor. I don't know what I'm seeing here. How can you be so good and so dominant, and then you get to the most important part of the season, Chris, and that's like tank?
Well, I mean, you have to think. I mean, Paul George has always been that type of guy. He's great during the season. Even if you go back to, like, when he was playing in Indiana. I mean, you had other players around him that actually kind of matched that at Indiana. I mean, you had, like, Roy Hibbert, who was pretty good defensively and offensively. But then you go back, you look at Paul George during his runs through the playoffs, he always seemed to fall off. And I don't know what it is, but he needs to change his name. He's no longer Playoff P.
I agree.
Yeah, he's no longer that guy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. And Doc Rivers comes out after that game and calls his team emotionally weak. Doc Rivers does not call his teams out, hardly ever. All the years with the Celtics that I can remember and his time at L.A., I haven't heard him say that, but that's a pretty strong statement, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. I was really young watching that, but I never heard him say that he was any of his teams were emotionally weak.
No, he's a big guy for in-house cleaning.
Yes.
Do it in the locker room, come into my office. Mm-hmm. For him to come out publicly and say my team looks emotionally weak, how much should I be worried on the scale of 1 to 10? Because we have up here on the big bet board, Some of us are forgetting some of the bets that we've made with each other.
Yeah.
So I have created the big bet board. Now we're just going to monitor everything. And I've got the Clippers going farther than the Lakers with Joe for $20. Where should my confidence level be, Chris? Because I'm not feeling too confident right now.
Right now, I mean, I would be feeling kind of suspect right now. I mean, looking at the way that Dallas is playing right now, and it seems like Dallas is coming together, whereas the Clippers are starting to kind of fall apart. I mean, the Clippers are actually looking like paper champs right now. So, I mean, if I were you, I would be kind of worried.
Game 5 is it. Game 5 is the game of the series.
Right.
Because whoever goes up there, you got to win 1 out of 2.
Yep.
There's no home court advantage.
That's right.
And momentum does mean something.
Yes, it does.
So Game 5 could set the tone for everything.
Yeah, it can. You have to think, too, Luka Doncic was playing on a bum ankle. So, I mean, for him to put up those type of numbers on a Clippers team, I mean, to me, they are emotionally weak.
And you know what's so crazy is, didn't Lou Williams have 36 points?
Lou Williams had 36 points.
36 points. So he picked up the slack, and they still lose.
Yeah.
It's like lack of defense on both teams. They gave up over 130 points each, but I mean, Dallas just shouldn't be in this game with all the talent that the Clippers have. So what's the problem? It can't just be Paul George. We talked about how bad he did, but Lou Williams picked up the slack with 36.
I mean, he picked up the slack with 36, but at the end of the day, you have to. I mean, this is when Kawhi Leonard has to step up like he did last year in the playoffs, where he has to step up. He has to be the leader. He has to take the role. Hey, guys, follow me to this victory. I mean, I understand Kawhi doesn't really talk that much, but right now he needs to be a little bit more vocal with these guys on his team, on his bench, and get them together.
What is the key for me beating you in this bet and getting out of the first round for the Clippers, man?
I think you guys both know the key. It's Paul George stepping up and showing the all-star he really is. Because he hasn't shown it all. Yeah. Kawhi needs his co-star. He hasn't had him this whole series.
He had it last night, though. Lou Williams with 36. There's your co-star, and they still lose.
No, who else scored from the bench? Montrezl had 2 points.
Yeah, I expect more from Montrezl Harrell. I'll tell you that right now. Miami, the Jazz, the Bucks should win their first round series. Bucks get a big win today against the Magic. All those teams should move on. And what I'm really looking forward to is Toronto-Boston. I think this is a great second round matchup. Moving on to the Lakers, they get it done on Saturday in Game 3, 116-108. They looked better. They don't look like they weren't looking like a championship team, because I've got to tell myself they're playing an eighth seed in the playoffs in Portland. Let me just start with Portland. Nurkic is an anchor. I mean, that guy right there is. How many you're watching the games, right, you guys?
Yeah.
You're both watching them?
Yeah.
What's the over and under on how many times he hits the deck in a game? I'm not even kidding. I think it's like 6 or 7.
It's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Every time I turn around, the center for Portland is hitting the deck.
Yeah.
He's living down there. It's like, just, roll a cot out there and take a nap, pay some rent, and call it a day. He is an absolute liability when he's out there. But let's get into this series. Lakers going up 2-1. Huge game coming up. I think this is just as much as Game 5 is between Dallas and the Clippers. I think Game 4 is between Portland and the Lakers. The Lakers looked like they were back. I would have given them a B+ on their performance the other night with the 116-108 win. They weren't completely there. The one thing that really got me, and Joe, I better hear you say something about this, and Chris, if you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. They actually freeze-framed on the shot clock. When the Lakers came down, missed a shot, all the Trailblazers were in their attacking end of the court with 16 seconds left to go on the shot clock, and AD and LeBron were nowhere to be seen. They weren't even over half court.
Yeah.
This isn't a major thing. They did get the win, but it's against an 8th seed team, and that stuff just can't be happening. Did you see that play?
Yeah, I mean, you see it, but I mean, this is something that happens all the time. I mean, you see LeBron. He's back there all the time, whether he's complaining about a foul or something like that he's not back playing defense. Or if you look at LeBron, there's some times where they're running off of screens and he's not picking up the guy. So, I mean, you see this all the time.
Right, and how many times does he turn around and he's either yelling at the ref or yelling at one of his players, and the play's going the other way?
All the time. I mean,
it's hard for me to be critical of a guy that is in the top 3 of NBA players ever.
Right.
But seriously, when there's 16 seconds left to go on the shot clock, and you're not even over half court getting back off a missed shot, something's wrong. Like, what's going on in your head?
Well, the thing is, it's not what's going on in his head. I mean, he just haven't had a player to actually step up to him and let him, hey, you can't do this. You're not gonna bully me on the court. Hey, I mean, if he has like that one player that stands up to him, I'm pretty sure he'll stop that.
Right. Who's going to talk to him? Frank Vogel?
Carmelo Anthony did the same thing in the game though too. And I know everyone says
Okay,
like,
let's
oh,
not
he's turning
shift
back
the
to
story.
Clark.
Carmelo Anthony isn't one of the greatest players in the game right now, and he's not in the top 5 of greatest players ever.
He's a Hall
We're
of Famer,
talking
though.
about LeBron, and you're
Right.
a LeBron fan, so let's not shade this around.
Okay, all
I
right,
mean,
fine.
how do you explain that though? If we're just being honest, like, how do you explain that? That's nonsense.
I mean, okay, you can explain it in the first round, but later on in the series, in the playoffs, no, it's inexcusable.
so is it okay to say it's just a first round? It's an 8 seed. We're going to win anyway. That's okay.
No, because it's not a mentality you should go forward in the playoffs like that. You can't have that in your mind like that and go, okay, well, they're just an 8th seed, So I don't think you should. I don't think
You
it's
know what
fair.
I'm thinking? That's not Mamba mentality.
That's not
I
Jordan
hate
mentality.
to use that. It's not Jordan
It's
mentality.
not.
It's not Mamba. It's not Tom Brady.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
all the killers. You just don't do stuff like that. It's. I don't
know.
know. I must be out of my mind, but
No, I don't think so.
I just picked up on it. What do you expect you guys out of the game tomorrow? Or wait, are they playing tonight?
Tonight.
Oh, they're
Nine-
playing
nine-
tonight.
nine
Yeah, they're
o'clock,
playing
9
right
o'clock.
after our show. Go ahead.
I'm expecting the Lakers to actually hopefully get AD and LeBron on the same page in the first half and go ahead and just pull out this victory tonight. I think Portland is coming to a point where Portland is starting to fade down the stretch a little bit, and I think the Lakers since right now they have the momentum. I think they can go ahead and go up 3-1.
I mean, you're going to live with Lillard scoring his 30-plus. You just can't have CJ go for more than 20 points.
Yeah, CJ McCollum.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to stop LeBron and AD throughout the whole game, but they're going to try as much as they can, either double teaming them but it all depends if LeBron and AD go off and, KCP and Danny Green or Caruso don't have anything to show up on the stat sheet. They're not probably
You have
going to.
2 guys with 60 points, and then where are you getting the rest?
Right.
Yeah.
So Kuzma needs to step up. You can't have 7 points like he did last game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lakers in game 4. I think they go up 3-1. I think they take the series.
I agree.
All hats off to Portland and what they've did just to get in the playoffs, and then you got to go up against one of the best players in the NBA, 2 of the best players in the NBA, and one of the best teams in the NBA. And I think they're holding their own. I think, Chris, you just hit it right on the button, man. I mean, I just think they're just running out of gas. There's not enough ammunition in the gun. CJ McCollum isn't consistent for 20-plus points every single game. And I can't rely on Melo. Melo's either going to give me 20 or he's going to give me 10.
Right.
And then Nurkic at center is just a joke. I mean, I would just tie that guy to a dumbbell and throw him into the Pacific Ocean at this point and just leave. Who's their other center? Hassan Whiteside?
It's
Yeah,
Whiteside.
Yeah, I would just leave Whiteside out there for defensive purposes.
Right.
I mean, hell, he's going to give me 8 points and 5 blocks.
Right.
So, that's fine. I'll take that.
They can't because he's been in foul trouble the whole series with Dwight Howard.
Well,
Him and Dwight Howard look like a married couple going wrong.
As
Down in
soon
the
as
paint.
as soon as you get in foul trouble, you're fired.
Oh, is that so?
That's it. As soon as you get Hassan, we love you. We're gonna make you great again. But if you get in foul trouble, you're fired.
You're off the campaign.
You're off the campaign. That's it. We can't. We tried to make you great, and you don't listen. NFL news. I don't even know if I really want to consider this super big news, but Earl Thomas, I'm just going to ask if he's worth it at this point. He's just such a head case. I know he's a future Hall of Famer. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, which these days really doesn't mean anything. Is he worth it? I'll listen to either of you guys. And nobody even noticed that I switched up to White Russians this weekend.
No,
I'm on White Russian. I was like limoncellos, Alizé,
Right.
White Russians.
I see, man. But
Thursday might be a Bud Light night. I don't know.
I don't know, man. You're gulping it down too quick, man. We didn't have time to see it.
I'm enjoying it.
I see.
I
see
Well,
that.
now-
Earl Thomas.
Neither
Who's
one of
keeping
us
this
are getting
bum?
you a refill. Go ahead, Chris. You got
but
it.
I mean, Earl Thomas, he'll be a great addition to a team that's already playoff bound. But if I'm a team that has a young secondary who's trying to bring somebody in to learn, he's not the type of guy that you want to bring.
Right,
into the
he's not
secondary.
good with young players.
No.
He shows up late. He's
Yes.
a knucklehead in the games.
Right.
And he's going to cause disruptions.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy you look at good teams like the Steelers, the Patriots, and you go, there's no way they're picking this guy up. No way. So he's going to some bottom dweller like Cincinnati or Dallas. Dallas is, they're going to be a 10-win team this year. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. But Jerry Jones has a habit of picking up guys.
Right.
Look, New England picks up guys like this too, but they rehabilitate him. Corey Dillon never had problems after he got to New England.
Right.
Randy Moss never had problems after he got to New England. Dallas doesn't do that. Dallas has a reputation of bringing in stripper pole, coke snorters, and DUI guys, and they don't rehabilitate him. They just drop him if they become too much of a problem. Where's he going to land, Joe?
I'm going to go hot take, the Buccaneers.
Get the hell out of here. Get it. Are you seeing this?
I'm going Buccaneers. Going the Bucks.
Yeah.
He's going to join Tampa Bay.
Oh, my gosh.
Join the train. Join the train.
You know, when you have a young guy on the set, you know what's coming to my mind sometimes, Chris, is like you don't know what you don't know. And we're like the parents who are just trying to like let him work his way out and find his way. But he says comments like that, and then you just want him to break the Prozacs in half tomorrow for breakfast.
Yeah, man.
Tampa Bay.
No, he's not.
I'll give you 10-1. He's not going to Tampa Bay.
Right, he's going to the Cowboys.
Yeah,
he might go to the Cowboys.
Jerry wants him. He said in 2017, "Come get me, come get me." Earl Thomas said that to him.
Yeah.
So, and you guys remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
Cowboys.
Jerry has nothing to lose now. Go get him.
And you know what's crazy is that ESPN was putting out a story that he could go back to Seattle.
No.
How could you go back to Seattle when you flipped off Pete Carroll on national TV? You flipped off your coach on national TV. On top of that, you got into a punching match with Richard Sherman, who was the quarterback. He's part of your secondary in a practice. I mean, yeah, Richard Sherman's not there anymore. Okay, fine, but it's just the
it's the principle.
It's the principle of it. Just on man code, you can't go back there. If I was Pete Carroll, I was like, hell no, and hell no. We don't need him that bad. They're not. I don't think Seattle's that desperate on the defensive end. They need DK Metcalf to start scoring some touchdowns and hold on to that ball with the freak body he's got. But I don't think they're that desperate on the defensive end. What do I know? Speaking of football, let's move on to college football. What if I told you that there was a college in college football that scheduled one game? Would you believe me?
I could, but
one game?
I will ask why just one game.
I got the why for you. It's North Dakota State Bison. How about that? FCS team, North Dakota State Bison. I mean, they've won, 6 or 7 FCS championships?
Yes.
They played in, some stadium in Plato, Texas last year against, I think, George Mason in their championship game, and they won it. But here's so they did. They scheduled one game for October 3rd. Against Arkansas State, which is a pretty good matchup at that level. Nobody's really a good matchup when you're talking about the Bison. They're just so dominant. But what if I said to you that the reason they scheduled the game was to highlight their quarterback so he can make the NFL? Would you buy that?
I could, but I would ask, why would you just highlight the quarterback?
Because he's supposed. Mel Kiper has him number 15 in the draft. Tom McShay's got him number 14. Both of them on their ESPN top 100 tickers have him as their third quarterback to be taken in the draft. Quarterback Trey Lance. Last year he went for 2,800 yards, and here's the stat that blows me away: 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. On top of that, he rushed for 1,100 yards. And got another 14 touchdowns rushing. He ran for 6.5 yards a carry. And we could say it's a small school. But you know what? Carson Wentz came from a small school. Which is the bigger... Gosh, okay. Maybe I need... the White Russian is talking to me here. I'm wondering what's the bigger story, though. Is it that a whole university scheduled one game on October 3rd out of the whole season? Or is the bigger story the reason why they did it was to highlight their quarterback to help him in his draft rating?
I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting that they wanted to highlight one game for their quarterback. I mean, because you're not playing any other games, and with everything going on right now with, COVID and the players, and I mean, I think it's pretty interesting that they're going to give him a shot to actually be on a big stage, a nationally televised game, right?
Yep.
Because they don't get any TV time.
They get some.
Right, but nothing like Alabama or Clemson or anything
nobody
like
gets
that. So
nobody gets time like Alabama. But
Right.
yeah, they get some. They get a cup of coffee every year from ESPN. And one of the early games of the Thursday night games, and they always sell out the Fargo Dome up there. But this kid's a legit talent. But which is the bigger story there? The fact that they've only scheduled one game? I mean, that's so bizarre. Who does that? Or the fact that they scheduled it just to highlight their quarterback? I mean, that's like... how do you feel if you're the other guys on the team?
Well, that's where my point was going. If
Right.
I'm the other guys on the team, I'm feeling some type of way because you could do that at a pro day. I mean, you could do a 7-on-7. I mean, if it's really that important, you could do 7-on-7 or do a pro day to highlight this guy's passing skills. So I mean, you already there's already tape on him, so you already know. I mean, if you're an NFL, if you're an NFL scout, you already know what this guy can do passing the ball and running the ball. So I mean, to have that one game where this guy, he either makes it or flops. I mean, who knows? I mean, Arkansas State may come out and because this is one game, and do their thing. So he may have a bad game. So I mean, to me, it's kind of weird. It's a reach. And if it was me, I would just focus on my pro day.
The first thing I'm asking is, what are they doing with the money?
Yeah.
They're going to have limited ticket sales. I'm guessing if it's a $40 or $50 ticket, they're going to sell it for $80 to $100.
Yeah.
But, give some back to charity, and I'm sure that they will. They've got to have something in place. Plus, they got to give Arkansas State, money to come up there to the Fargo Dome to get blown out probably.
Right.
So, who knows?
Ron, do you know where he was projected to go last year in the mock drafts? McShay and Mel Kiper? Patriots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really high.
Well, last year he was a sophomore.
Yeah, but that was the mock draft for this upcoming year was he was supposed to go Patriots. I looked at it and I was like, wow, over Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
That's
but Belichick doesn't take big stars.
I know, but I think
guys.
they're high on Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields this year, especially Trevor Lawrence. I think they're super high on him. And like I said, I'm not even mad if they go, they could have 6-win season.
I would be
I'm
fine.
okay.
I mean, we're both
6-10, I'm fine.
We're both Patriots fans, so we'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay. It's time to rebuild, and I'm not expecting too much this year. I've said Cam's not the answer.
We don't even know who's starting this season yet.
Did the depth chart come out today?
It was Stidham and Cam Newton were practice they're still going at it.
Right, but I saw somewhere on the internet that Cam is number 1 on the Patriots depth chart. Now, don't hold me to that, but that's what I remember seeing, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know,
right,
and I wouldn't be surprised either. If it goes either way, I think they're really neck and neck. Both have a lot of positives, and both have some negatives. Stidham's just had a cup of coffee in the league. He's only been here for a couple of years. Cam's injury, not only does he have the shoulder injuries coming over, he hasn't played in a while. He also has a foot injury.
I see split snaps in the first game against the Dolphins.
Yeah, and that could happen too. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
So our big show today is about our top 5 jerseys each. We want to break down our top 5 jerseys in all sports of all time. This was a hard list for me to put together. You know what? Normally, I think I take you on our lists, but this one, you and Joe might actually have a better list than me because my confidence level on my list of top 10 jerseys or top 5 jerseys of all time,
right,
I'm wavering a little bit.
Okay.
I'm wavering, and I tried not to be a homer, but there's so many jerseys out there. Then you have to add retro jerseys in all the sports.
Exactly.
There's a lot of options out there, and so before we get to our top 5, let's go over a couple honorable mentions that almost made our lists, but not quite. The first one I'm going to put up there is Major League Baseball jersey from the St. Louis Cardinals. The bat going across. You can see it right here. Right, Zach?
Yeah, on the other side.
Okay, so it's right over here. And I'm not looking into the production booth over there, so I don't know. Yeah, so it's got the bat. It has the 2 Cardinals on it. And I like jerseys that are clean, that, I want to look at them and know what I'm looking at. And it says Cardinals, the 2 Cardinals on the bat. I just think it's a classic look. I think it's super clean. Also, just outside of our top 5, how about the USC Trojans football team? You got the garnet and the gold. It's a blue-collar school. They've won championships. They're not changing it up. This isn't Oregon where you don't know what you're getting every week. You got Tommy Trojan on the side, fight on, and the colors are always the same. I love that look. It's super clean. It's historic. And when you see it, you automatically know exactly who it is. Also, just outside of our top 5, I'm sporting a number 12. Who is number 12 for the Montreal Expos? Chris, if I was going to say, who's number 12 for the Montreal Expos?
So you would throw this over.
I bet you most of our millennial viewers don't even know that Montreal used to have a team.
Right.
Or they were named the Expos, or what the heck this stands for. I don't even know what they...
I don't
even know what this stands for.
Number 12. Ooh. Oh, my goodness.
Who's number 12? No, I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to slide around.
No. I'm trying
You got 3 seconds.
He got drafted by them.
He was drafted.
He was drafted by let's see.
He got drafted by the Expos, yeah.
Can't think of that.
Tom Brady.
No, Tom.
Yeah.
What?
I just got this online. Yeah, I
Are you
just bought.
serious?
What?
No, I bought this online, Tom.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's a Tom Brady.
It's a Tom Brady jersey from the Montreal Expos. I got the hat last
See,
week.
I would see that. Yeah, I would have never guessed.
Wow.
I know.
Tom
No,
Brady.
I wouldn't have either. I
Yeah.
totally wouldn't. But
No.
it just on 1 to 100, 100 is the best jersey ever, and 0 is like Hitler wore it and you can't wear it ever again.
Right.
Where do you put the jersey?
Oh,
'Cause
that.
look, it's got the old patch on it.
Oh, that Montreal Expo. That's a classic jersey, man. I mean,
Give me a number. 1 to 100.
1 to 100. I put that. That'd be like around 65.
65. Higher
Wow.
than that.
Okay, I was going a lot higher than that. I was going about 88 to 90.
88 to 90. Yeah, I
mean,
think it looks clean.
It
I mean,
sticks. It's clean.
I like the. I think because didn't they have like a lighter blue one? Like
Yeah, they have those-
I like the light blue one a little bit better than.
Really? Because
Yeah.
that looks like that Crush Baby Blue.
Yeah, I like
it
that
It looks
light-
like the old Chargers look.
I like that. I guess because blue is my favorite color. So I mean, I like that.
Yeah,
light
we're going
blue.
to like the Andre
Yeah.
Dawson, Tim
Yeah, there
Wallach.
you go. Right.
Who's that reliever that they had back then? They had Tim Raines.
Right.
Again, a lot of our younger viewers won't know who these guys are.
No, they won't.
But we know who they are. Also on the just outside the top 5 list is Michigan football.
Really?
Oh, the helmets, the color, they're bold. Again, you see that jersey, you automatically know who it is. It's a winning organization, and I thought it was a great call. Last on our honorable mentions, not our top 5, on our honorable mentions is the Chicago Blackhawks jersey. I know this is a PC area that we probably shouldn't be getting into, but I mean, I don't even care. I think this jersey now. Zach, which side am I on, Zach? My right or my left?
It's on your left.
On my left. Okay, so that jersey right there is pretty iconic. It's one of the original 6, right, Zach?
The Chicago
Blackhawks,
Blackhawks.
Yeah, they're one of the original 6, and I almost went with the Boston B spoke, the
Really?
6 spokes with the B in the middle.
Right.
But there's just not enough there to grab me.
Right.
So those are our honorable mentions. Now we're going to get into our real top 5. So at my number 5 right now, I'm going with, and I'm an old traditionalist. I'm the old guy on the set. I'm actually the oldest guy on the set. I mean, actually, if you take Zach's age and Joe, you've got me. I'm going with the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Old tradition. You get the C on the side. The jerseys never change. And then you have the GHS for who was the owner? I should know this.
Yeah, I can't think
I
of the
don't
guy's
know.
name, but
I know what we were
I
talking
know, I
about.
can't
GHS
think.
on the side.
Who am I? Why am I? Who is that? Zach, do you know or no? Just thumbs up or down.
Well, I didn't. Well,
No.
was thumbs down. I didn't
Okay,
hear
forget it. So it's the old. It's Hallis, George Hallis.
Hallis, right.
Oh, okay.
George Hallis. They have George Hallis, his initials on the side. The colors never change. Again, it's not like Oregon. I always know what I'm getting. I'm getting the white jerseys with the dark trim and the dark helmet with the C. I just think it's a real traditional look. I think it looks clean. And that's kind of what I go for. And when I see it, I automatically know it's the Bears. They've been around forever. The jerseys never change. I can't stand that. I'm good for throwing in a new jersey once in a while, maybe for a series or two like in baseball during the season. But I'm not a real big jersey changing kind of guy. I like the Red Sox. The jersey's always the same. Penn State, I've got Penn State up there. Jersey's always the same. I can name 10 other teams that are exactly the same way. But at number 5 for me, I'm going with the Chicago Bears on the top 5 best jerseys ever. Chris, who do you have at number 5?
Well, Ron, I'm going to go with your team, the New England Patriots.
There you go.
This logo is classic. I love this logo.
Isn't that sick?
This logo is like great.
Yes.
Yes, and I love that red jersey they
Those-
had. Those
oh,
retro
yeah.
jerseys, the retro
Yeah.
red. Those are like some of the best looking jerseys
I know.
for the NFL.
And I'm not even saying that because I'm a Patriots fan.
Yes.
That emblem right there.
This
it,
one.
It looks tight. Now the new one looks good too. I love
Yeah.
the new one. It's just modern enough, but that right there is sick.
This is the logo they need to go back to. I
That's
love
some-
this
that's
logo.
some real
This
drip
is the
right there.
classic. Yes,
That's
this
some
is,
real
this
drip.
Is drip. Yes. Yes.
My
Yes.
mom is laughing her butt off right now.
Yes.
That's some real drip.
That's real drip.
All right, so you got the Patriots, retro jerseys
retro red
at
jersey.
number 5.
Number
Joe, who you got at 5?
Ron might throw me off the show for this, but I have the Miami Dolphins throwback jerseys that they wore against them in the Miami Miracle. I don't know. I really like those colors. I think they stand out. I don't
But
know,
what
I like
pops
that.
about that jersey?
The teal.
The color.
Yeah, and the old Dolphin logo on the
Yeah,
side
the
of the
old
helmet.
Dolphin
It
logo.
looks awesome, and the patch side here, and even in the stadium they do the what do you call it? This diamonds on
Yeah.
in the gold. I think it's pretty cool.
No, I think that old look is good too. I'm going with the retro look, the old fish look.
I thought you were gonna throw me off the show for
No,
saying
no,
that.
no, no. But the new helmets, I'm not down.
No,
I don't
them.
like the new modern look.
No.
But the old ones, I'm down with it.
I
So
agree.
you saw the pictures when Tua is doing the workouts
Yeah,
in the new jersey,
I did. Yeah, I did.
and
I really like him a lot. I think it kind of brings back the old culture.
I think you're right. I like that old look and that standard stuff. Like I said, you could call me the old man on the set, and that's fine. I'm just I like the old traditional look. Speaking of old traditional looks, my number 4 team for best jersey of all time, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
The colors, again, they're not changing up jerseys 9 million times. And the colors are always the same, and you get that big G right there on the side of the helmet, the yellow helmet, and it tells me immediately. When you see that helmet, you think hometown, America, champions, Lombardi, public owned,
Yeah.
just good stuff. Those jerseys look good. Now, when they do those retro jerseys, no, not having that. Not even with a 30-foot pole. I'm not doing that. But the jerseys that they standardly wear, I'm going with number 4 for me, Green Bay Packers. Classic look, clean, sharp, great colors. It works. Who's your number 4?
Number 4, I'm going with the Houston Astros retro jerseys with the sunshine band across the chest. Yes. I mean, I love that jersey, man. I mean, it makes me think about Nolan Ryan, just doing his thing down there. I mean, I remember growing up as a kid watching Nolan Ryan, pitch the ball at the latter end of his career. So, I mean, yeah, that's.
But when they wore those jerseys, you couldn't even see the game.
I know.
You were just like optically fixated on
the
those
jersey,
jerseys.
exactly.
You know, they remind me of the kind of like the Padres 04 jerseys.
right.
They didn't have the bands going across, but they
Yeah,
had that same like kind of off color combination.
Yes.
But for the Astros, it kind of worked. That's your number 4?
That's my number 4.
Best jersey ever?
Yeah, I got some plans on you.
Never would have seen that coming. Never would have seen that coming. Joe, who you got at number 4?
All right,
Fourth
all
best
right.
jersey of all time.
Capitals alternate jerseys. I know they just got eliminated, but
Homer.
I love those red jerseys.
Homer.
Not at all. Those jerseys are awesome.
No, they're all right. The ones where they have the L as the hockey stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. I mean, I like it. They show the stars on the side of the jersey, on the top, where the shoulder pads are.
So we've got a picture of Ovi wearing one of those jerseys, Ovechkin, and we should have put a better picture up there with the yellow laces. Has got to be a part of it with Ovechkin.
That's where I did the yellow lace. Yeah.
The yellow laces. Yeah, but the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good look. So, I'm going to stick with hockey for my number 3.
All right.
My number 3 best jersey of all time, and this is I'm going to just come out and say this is a stretch, and for a lot of our younger viewers, they're going to be like, what's a hab? But if you know what a hab is, then you know the Canadiens, Montreal Canadiens. I got a Montreal theme going tonight.
I see
the
that.
Expos jersey I can explain.
Right.
The Habs jersey, I mean, it's traditional, and we don't have a camera on Zach tonight, but we got Maurice Rocket Richard back there kissing with his signature, real signature, kissing the Stanley Cup trophy, and those jerseys are so classic because it's French, but it's red, white, and blue, not in an American way. It's got bold colors, and it has the C in the middle. Again, it's just like Chicago. It's just like Green Bay. You see that emblem. You know who it is. It's a winning tradition. It's iconic to me. It's a super clean look. I think it looks really great. That's my number 3. Montreal Canadiens hockey's jersey. I put it at number 3. And I'm willing to admit it might be a little high. Who you got at 3?
Number 3, I'm going to go with, for some reason, I love the Detroit Red Wings.
So we're on a hockey theme.
Yes, I love that hockey. I love that Detroit Red Wings jersey.
Okay, explain this jersey, though.
I mean, what you have in it, you have the wheel in the middle.
Right.
For representing, Motor City from Detroit.
Right.
And, you
And
have
the production line that they used to have.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have like the little flame things coming out the back. I mean, it's just that jersey, to me, it represents what Detroit really is as far as being the Motor City. But the fact that red and that white, and then you have Then you have the all red and with the white in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that jersey to me, it takes me back to back in the days when I was watching Rap City, looking at Redman or Eminem wear that jersey, and I'm just like, yo, that jersey's hot, man.
Yeah, and it says Detroit.
And it says Detroit.
It's a tire with the fire coming out of it, but they
Yes.
made it look really classic.
Yes.
It doesn't look gimmicky and new. Like some of the Tampa Bay Rays new jerseys.
Right.
They're like all these color schemes. They're trying to look new. It's like they're trying to reach for it. And Detroit
Right.
was like, we're putting a tire with flames out there, and they made it look so classic.
Yes.
I'm with you on that one on your number 3. Joe, number 3.
I'm gonna go away from hockey, and I'm going. To,
Oh, he broke the hockey streak.
I'm going to our very own Florida Gators. Those 1960s throwback jerseys. They wore actually last year against Auburn homecoming game.
That's the
I love those
Trask,
jerseys.
1963.
Yes.
They wore that last year.
Yeah.
That we've got the picture of Trask up
Right
there
up on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, the
love
flashback
them.
one, and it does look good
They
with
look
the
sweet.
the white helmet and the orange F.
Yes.
Yeah. So why does that one
Classic.
stand out to you? Is it because you're going to University of Florida, or is it
I
if you
am.
weren't a Florida fan, it would still be classic?
I think so. The way
Why?
it stands out. I don't know. Just the way the jersey. It's a different blue than the normal one they usually wear, and
Mm-hmm.
the white helmets always stand out. It's a classic look.
I agree with you. And one thing, maybe I'm out of my mind. One thing I like, especially in, the SEC does this a lot, but I've noticed it with some NFL teams, is that they've got like right here, they've got a patch here,
Right.
or when the like Kansas City will put the arrowhead over here on the side, or they'll have patches here,
Right.
and it just looks like they're going into battle.
Yeah.
It just looks good.
Yeah.
So we're up to my number 2. My number 2 best jersey of all time. I'm going with my 17-time world champions, the Boston Celtics. This is a classic look, and I know there's a theme that's building here because I've got a lot of classic, not new, modern, what's the hottest thing out right now look. I'm an older guy. I'm willing to admit it. But I like that clean look from the Celtics. The jerseys that they won 8 championships in a row. Think about that if you're under 25. They won 8 championships in a row. I'm getting this nasty look over here from Joe, who hasn't taken his meds today. He's also on the show not wearing his helmet. But they won 8 championships in a row. It's a super clean look. Again, they put the shamrocks on sometimes. What I don't like is now I look on these jerseys, it's not just the Celtics, it's everybody. And they have chime. Or they have Buzz whatever. What's that, Buzz Clip or...
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Joe,
market.
what is it?
They're doing the sponsorships.
The sponsorship.
I know it's
Yeah.
a sponsorship. GE...
General
Yeah.
Electric.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And the Celtics sold out, and now it takes away from that classic look.
It does.
But when you see that, even if you're not a Celtic fan, you think classic,
Right.
60s, championships, dynasty. They're not changing. They don't care if you don't like it. This is what it is. Deal
Right.
with it. My number 2 best classic jersey of all time, overall in all sports, Boston Celtics.
All right.
Your number 2.
My number 2.
Beat that.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm going to be a homer, too. My number 2 is the classic New York Yankee pinstripe.
Oh, I thought you'd have the Yankees at number 1.
No.
You don't. I totally thought you'd have Yankees at number 1.
Yeah, definitely the pinstripe Yankees.
Wait, Zach, don't leave that picture up there that long.
Yeah, Zach, leave it up.
No, don't
But,
leave that picture.
yes.
Hey, remember who signs the paychecks.
But yeah, man, I love that classic look with the Yankees jersey. The pinstripes. My guy Joe right there, he can go ahead and model it for us. But
27 World Series championships.
Okay, hold on. Let's hit pause real quick. Have you noticed that we've been learning, the curtain gets pulled back on Joe every week a little more and a little more.
Right.
So we're out talking to some of our fans over the weekend. He goes, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm a big Alabama fan. It's like, so you're an Alabama fan, then you're a Yankee fan, then you're a Laker fan. It's like,
and a Gator fan.
and a Gator. So he's, you know what his new name is? Front runner.
I've been a Gator
Until
fan
you
since
change
Tebow.
that in my mind, you're the front runner.
He's
Chris,
the
tell me
front
I'm
runner.
wrong.
Yeah, you are the front runner, my guy.
Zach, thumbs up or thumbs down on front runner. Up,
Thumbs
it's
up.
3 to nothing. It's 3 to nothing.
It's
You're the ultimate
unanimous,
front
guy.
runner.
I'll be running to the parade with LeBron when they win their
Oh
title
my
this year.
gosh.
Oh,
Anyway,
boy.
back to your Yankees.
Yeah, man.
Back to Chris's Yankees.
Yeah,
You'll have your
man,
moment in the
definitely.
sun.
Definitely, but yeah, I love that pinstripe jersey. I mean, it goes back to me when, start looking at Derek Jeter. I mean, start looking at Bernie Williams and those guys when they're actually winning championships consistently. I mean, unfortunately, we've kind of took a nosedive. We haven't been
Nothing
winning
for the
and
past 10 years. But
consistently.
anyway.
But I mean, definitely, that classic jersey, you can't go wrong with that.
No,
No, you
I think it looks clean.
Yeah.
I think it looks clean. It's not. My whole thing is I don't want it to look gimmicky.
Right.
And the Yankees never look gimmicky.
No.
And what I like actually is the road jerseys. The road jerseys for the Yankees and the Red Sox look
right.
the same. The gray with
Gray.
the Boston
Yes.
or New York.
Yes.
And I think that looks clean.
Mm-hmm.
When you start getting like guys with jackhammers and all this other stuff going on, an elephant swinging a mallet
Right.
and all, you start losing me on that. Joe, your number 2 best jersey of all time, all sports is
The Phoenix Suns throwback jerseys.
what?
Yep, Steve Nash, Jeff Hornacek, all those guys. Amari Stoudemire.
Number
throwback.
2 best jersey of all time?
The black stands out to me the most. I really like them. I don't know. I just kind of I don't know. I just like them a lot.
Who was Chambers that played with them?
Yeah. Who's
Oh,
Chambers.
you know, I had to
No, I
remember.
Tom Chambers.
Yeah,
Tom
I had-
Chambers.
okay.
Yeah.
Was it Tom?
Tom Chambers.
I had to
Okay.
remember who's the outside shooter, and then I
Dan
don't remember
Marley.
his last name.
Yeah, Dan Marley. Thunder
Okay,
Dan.
all right. I didn't even say Charles Barkley in those.
No, I got
Suns
Charles
jerseys.
Barkley
No,
up
I know,
there.
I know.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking from watching The Last Dance.
Yeah,
from-
you had
and
Charles Barkley,
yeah.
Dan Marley.
Yeah.
It has the sun exploding
Yeah.
out of the ball.
It's up on the screen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
The viewers can see it.
Yeah.
And the moment that you two amateurs have both been waiting for.
Here we go.
My number 1. Now, Chris, who do you think my number 1 is? You got 3 seconds. Come on. Before I collect Social Security, go.
I can't guess, man. You're off the wall, Ron. I don't know what to say.
Joe, who's my number 1? Number 1
okay, is it
best
M-
jersey of all time.
it,
Can't ask questions. You got 3 seconds. Go.
Okay, Boston team.
No, that's too easy.
I can't. I don't know then.
My number 1 jersey of all time has to be the San Diego Chargers.
Oh, the throwbacks.
They've got the lightning bolts on the side.
Right.
You got the classic lightning bolt on the helmet. And I'm going back to like 84, 85. Google 1984, 85 jerseys from like 85 with Dan Fouts Chargers jerseys.
Right.
The dark blue with the block lettering. They got the bolts coming down the leg.
Right.
And the best ones are the whiteouts, where they the white trim, where they have the solid blue with the white trim on the
yeah.
sides, and then the solid blue with the white trim on the sides.
Right.
Those are the best ever, because they've got the bolts on the shoulders, the bolts on the legs. They had that classic cresting bolt coming over the top. San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, Chargers. That's why I never went into singing. But
Are you getting a Grammy for that one or
I'm
no?
not getting. I'm getting a lamey. It's like a Grammy. It's on the other end of the spectrum with my singing. It's a lamey. The San Diego Chargers jerseys, man, who's with me on that one? If you guys remember, you might not
I do.
remember the
Dan
dark
Fouts.
ones with the
Yeah.
Dan Fouts ears.
Kellen
Yeah, I
Winslow?
remember those, yeah.
Yeah,
Kellen
Yeah.
Winslow. I remember.
Yeah.
that. I remember. I've seen those.
I
before.
just think those look so tight. And you know what? I could put 100 different. I could probably put 20 different jerseys up at number 1. We went through the honorable mentions. I thought that was a pretty good list. But the Chargers ones, and maybe it's because I grew up in San Diego, but those
Right.
lightning bolts. Who else has that?
Nobody has.
And they're on all the, it's all 3 phases: helmet, shoulders, and the legs. It looks clean. It looks tight. It's original. The color pattern works. That gold and blue, and you got a
Right.
lightning rod. Awesome. Chris, who's your number 1? Beat that.
My number 1 is definitely going to be a classic look. It hasn't changed as long as I remember. The Los Angeles Raiders, that black and silver.
Oakland?
The
Oakland
Oakland
Raiders.
Oakland,
Yeah.
LA.
The Las Vegas.
Either
yeah,
one?
Either 3.
The Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah.
They're committed to mediocrity, baby.
Yeah, that black and silver, man, is classic, man. I remember watching both.
Is it more about the helmet, the skull helmet? The helmet's everything with the
skull
Raiders.
helmet, but I mean, even with that black jersey,
Yeah.
with that silver and that black, I mean, it's just like, it's classic, it's clean, and it's just, to me, it brings back so many memories watching Bo Jackson,
Yep.
Marcus Allen,
Lyle Alzado.
yeah, watching all those guys
Todd
back in the day.
Christensen at tight
Yes.
end.
Ken
Yep.
Stabler,
Yep,
Yeah.
Ken
Ken
Stabler,
Stabler,
the
yeah.
Dave
snake.
Casper.
I think the whole thing with the Raiders, honestly, what pulls it all together, and maybe I should have had them an honorable mention, because that is a good one. But the whole thing about the Raiders is the helmet.
Yeah.
You got the pirate with the sword in his mouth. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's just like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Here's the question between you two. Speak up first, whoever wants to. Who has the better uniforms, though? The Raiders fans in the black hole or the Raiders themselves? Go.
The
Raider
Raiders fan.
fans.
Yeah,
love
fans in the black hole.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
guys with the spikes coming
Yeah.
out. It's like them and Georgia fans.
Yeah.
You know, in that
The
one
Road
student
Warrior
section
fans,
down
yeah.
by the hedges,
Yeah.
they got the spikes
Spikes,
coming
yeah.
out of the pads and black hole.
Yeah.
A+ on creativity, man. I'm actually sorry they're going to Las Vegas because everything's gonna get blinged out. You're gonna see gambling
That's
chips and
right.
beads and I want death. I want Corona. I want
You got to win some games first.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So we've come to the end of the rope. I got the Chargers. You got the Raiders.
Yeah.
And now we have to try and figure out what kind of a long limb Joe is going out on for his number one pick for best sports jersey of all time.
I don't even have to say it. You should know it. I'm wearing the jersey right now.
Right now.
It's Mr. Frontrunner.
It's
right out there in front.
It's the New York Yankees with the 27 World Championships. What do I say?
From the 50s.
Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera.
Like I said, from
I could
the
just
50s.
keep going and going and going. Bernie Williams, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October himself. Should I keep going? I don't think I have to.
No.
you
How many jerseys retired in Monument Park? How many?
Oh, just because players retire their jersey. Take that jersey down, Zach.
Jeter.
Is it gone?
Posada.
Take it down right now. Seriously, take that jersey down.
Posada.
We've seen it twice.
We can
How
keep
many
going.
jerseys are... No, listen, it's a clean outfit.
It is.
They have won a lot of championships. They haven't won in 10 years. See, you got to play both sides of the fence. You got to be willing to admit that they were good at one time, but they haven't been for the last 10 years. I can handle that. But it's a clean outfit. And look, I didn't... How shocked are you 1 to 10 that I didn't even go with the Red Sox? I didn't go with the Patriots.
I'm not shocked with the Red Sox, but I am kind of shocked with the Patriots. I mean, with them changing, having
Yeah.
the different ones, and especially the logo.
I love the throwback one.
Yeah.
The throwback one that you picked was tight. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our list. You could get a hold of us here at the first round RD at the first round RD at gmail.com. Give us your list of top 5. We'll read them off in the next couple of weeks and see who you've got as your top 5. Want to give shouts out to everybody listening to us in San Diego and in Lincoln, Nebraska. You can be a part of the show by subscribing. We added 70 subscribers in the last week. We want to thank each and every one of them. Hit the notification button right now as you're watching over on the left there or over on the right-hand side. Hit the notification button. It will tell you when all of our new shows on Mondays and Thursdays. And also follow us on Twitter. First round 1. At the first round 1 on Twitter. And Chris, what else is going on in pro sports?
Everything going on in NASCAR last year. Everything from the newest policy in the garage to them banning Confederate flags. I mean, NASCAR has now just they've actually set a precedent, actually having the first black track president for the Dover Motor Speedway, Eric Moses. I think this is something that it will definitely attract more people to NASCAR. It makes NASCAR more diverse. And, to me, I think this is something that's good for NASCAR. And, hopefully, it will start to attract younger, more diverse crowd to NASCAR, just to kind of bring unity into our nation. So I say good job, NASCAR.
That's it.
That's it.
I think that's a great story. I don't think we should hire any minorities just because they're minorities. I always
Right.
believe in hiring the most qualified person. But I think we've got to open up to – there's been a shield or like a veil
Right.
that has been over sports where like guys like Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator at the Kansas City Chiefs, gets looked over for head coaching positions.
Right.
We've got to get past looking over people that are qualified.
Yeah.
If they're qualified, hire the best people out there. I think this is a great move for NASCAR, following on the heels of the NFL. And last week, we heard about Jason Wright getting hired as the new president of operations for the former Washington Redskins and now what I hope to be the Washington Union, or currently the team of the Washington, D.C. area, whatever they want to call themselves. That music that is on can mean only one thing, and that's time to thank our support staff. The man on the board, Zach Alicious. Over to my right, Joe Monroe. On my left, great co-host for over a year, Chris Roberts. El Presidente, Chet 40. Remember, subscribe today. Tell all your friends about the first round. Help grow us to epic proportions. We will be right back here on Thursday night talking about everything going on in the world of sports. Remember, hit that notification button. You will be notified by YouTube every time Monday and Thursday we post new shows. Until then, everybody, take care of yourselves. We'll see you on Thursday night.